We'll get
Smashing.
started. Thank you everyone for
Okay.
joining this afternoon. The session is looking at keeping your platform secure. So it's all around security of your platform and also introducing you to the new MFA tool that we're looking to launch soon onto your platform. The session is being recorded today. So if you have to drop out for any reason, don't worry. We will send you a copy of the recording. And we'll be looking, as I mentioned, at the options that we've got available to you and also introducing the MFA function. So I'll pass over to Stu. Stu is one of our support team members. He'll be taking you through the session today. The Q&A and the chat is open. So if you've got any questions along the way, please do pop them in there. And we'll either get to them as we go along or at the end of the session.
No problem. Thanks for that, Jack. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So today's session is going to cover securing your logins with MFA, multi-factor authentication. Try saying that 5 times quickly. And your platform's automatic timeout, which is something that you already have in place, but we'll have a look at the adjustments on that. And defining your password policy. So just a little bit about us. Here's me in what I can only describe as a very floral shirt. An old picture of that shirt's probably on Vinted by now. Yeah, so the combined 21 years experience, I'm going to steal a bit of your thunder on that, Jack, because on this Thursday I'll have been with accessplanit for 19 years. That's not to take anything away from Jack, of course, but yeah, I've worked on support since I've been here, and I've dipped into training and being a data manager for a hosted company that we had, ran the support team itself, but found my sort of feet in the actual day-to-day, helping the customers, doing the support tickets and getting my hands dirty on the system. That's my strength. So I basically played to my strength by coming back to where I started and getting stuck in with the customers. So the MFA itself, we do quite a lot of things in the background with the server side of things and beyond to keep things as secure as possible. But with this multi-factor authentication that's been asked for many, many times since I've been on the help desk, it's just another way of keeping things safe. And I'm sure you've seen it. I think everything uses it now. You've got Amazon, eBay, Apple, and we have a piece of software for our HR that actually asks you for the code every hour if you go into it. So we're not quite as brutal as that. We had a look at things like Microsoft, a couple of the big players, and they want it to be added every 90 days to 100 and so. So we've made it sort of to fall in the middle where you basically log in, you put the extra code in, and then every 120 days you have to add it again to keep it secure, unless you go onto another browser or another device. So everything we talk about today is going to be functionality that you've already got. Obviously, the MFA is not released yet. It's coming out in the next release, I believe. So yeah, I'll just go through how that works. So when you very first log in, it's a training demo user ID. When you click login, it's going to say you need more information. So all you do is you hit next, and it will send you an email. Email options you've got is you update the existing email or use the one that you've currently got set in accessplanit. Now, this is what you get the first time you do it. So we're going to use Jenna's email here. So when you click next, it's going to send you an email. It's not through mobile phone or app or anything. It's just via email. Now, it can take anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes, as emails do in this case. But once you do get the email, it has a code. The code's quite bold. Now, what I tend to do is copy the code and then just paste it straight in. You can type it. And if you do copy and paste it, it will truncate the spaces from the end, the beginning and the end. And it's valid for 15 minutes. So grab the code, rid of the email, pop it in there, and then hit verify. And then there's just one more login button, and that's it for 120 days. So once you've done that, you are authenticated. And like I say, if you do go onto another application, say your phone, another browser, an incognito browser, you're going to ask to see it again, basically. And the next demo is just a returning. So imagine 120 days has gone past. And then the only difference here is you don't get the chance to change your email. You just literally use the same email that's baked in, hit next in exactly the same way. You get the prompt. I'm using Jenna's email here, of course. Get the email, and you just get another code. And once you've got the code, again, I just copy it. I'm sure you will as well. Copy it and paste it. It'll truncate the space off the start and the end. Paste it straight into the verification code, and then hit verify. It's exactly the same. It's just that you're forced to use the same email address. Hit login. There you go. Session. So it's very, very straightforward. There isn't much that can be configured on it. Let's have a look at what tips you've got on it. So it can be set up only to appear if you're a certain role. So by default, I think it's the training admins, might be super admins, but we can configure it so it's only applicable to individuals. It's only applicable to managers, but by default, it's the top level of roles, of permissions. You ask to re-authenticate, like I said, every 120 days. So you won't hear anything unless you launch another app or browser, and then it will ask you to verify from that moment forward. It does not apply to logins through single sign-on. This is a question I've had in the help desk quite a lot. And the reason being is single sign-on is its own way to log into accessplanit. With single sign-on active, you could very well have your own MFA linked to your single sign-on, your SSO. But if you want to use the accessplanit MFA, you must obviously make sure you're logging in through accessplanit. In other words, you don't have single sign-on. So single sign-on can't use MFA on accessplanit, but you might have your own MFA on your own single sign-on. Hopefully that made sense. The one-time codes, again, valid for 15 minutes. It also applies to all login routes. So whether you're logging through the basket, the checkout, depending if you've got the older or the newer version of accessplanit, or you're logging through the front end, whichever role it's linked to, those users are going to get it. And like I said a couple of slides ago, you can make it so individuals or your customers don't have to do it if you choose to. Again, completely configurable by just getting in touch and asking for that. Yeah, each user can have up to 3 codes in a 24-hour period. So if you keep putting the code in wrong, if you type it wrong or paste it wrong, you can request it again, but it will give up eventually. And after 5 incorrect codes, the user's account will be locked. So in a nutshell, that is the whole MFA from start to finish. Basically, if you get in touch once it's available, we turn it on. Those are the things that are configurable on it at the moment. I'm sure it'll evolve over time, but as it stands, that's just how it is. So let's look at the next thing that we said we were going to touch on, which was your platform's automatic timeout. So this is something that is already happening. So a standard timeout for inactive logins is 180 minutes. So if you're doing nothing at all whatsoever, first of all, what you're doing. Secondly, it will log you out. If you're not clicking anything, courses, booking, anything at all, it will throw you out of the system. Now, we can change that. I don't think we can lengthen the time, but we can shorten the time. There are a couple of police / more secure industries that require, if you're not doing anything for 5 minutes, it will kick you out. And so we can adjust that. And again, it's like anything else, because this is currently available and you're already using it, throw a support ticket in, put the details on of what you want, and we could adjust it for you. But like I say, we can't make it any longer than that. We can only make it shorter. So the last section, I'm flying through this quite quickly, is just the password policy. Again, this is something that is already on your platform. And we've recently moved it away from training administrator, which used to be the very top level permission. We've moved it up to the super administrator. So we've tried to put things with the super administrator that are only used like a one-time setup. You know, very like the account finance options, the password policy, things that your everyday admins that are either putting courses on and booking courses don't need to access quite a lot. So if you're not seeing it, it's because it lives under the super admins rather than training admins. But again, it's very much speaks for itself. You basically have all the different options in there, and you can see at the top there, define requirements for your user's password. So minimum length, maximum, minimum numeric, lowercase, uppercase, whatever you specify. I'll go onto certain customers' websites, and if I'm resetting my password or a colleague's, it'll be, oh, you need to have at least 3 special characters and a hieroglyph, you know, that kind of thing. So it's all completely definable by yourself, your super admins. You can have how many failed attempts. So if the password's been entered wrong twice, some customers just say put 100, you know, but obviously the less attempts you have, the more secure it is. Final long user account is locked for, yeah. So I think you can set it to lock you out for X amount of hours. So you can really lock people out for a very long time if you so wish to keep it secure. And the very bottom option is to, when someone is locked out, the message that appears that says you've locked yourself out and this is what you do about it. Typically, I find customers just put a phone number in there, and they say, you've locked your account, please get in touch on this number. But again, you can put anything you like in there. And then when they do eventually lock themselves out, that's what will show. So you can see this just by simply going up to administration. And then it used to be under password policy, but now, or this future release, when you get it, I think it's security options. Yeah, security options. This is where the MFA stuff is set up, and the password policy information. So again, minimum length, minimum numeric, minimum lowercase. Some of you may already have this set up, and right at the very bottom, you've got the option to put the free text message in to say, I think the default message probably just says you've locked your account with several exclamation marks. I forget exactly what the default is, but you can make it say whatever you like. And then 9 out of 10 customers just say, ring the office and we'll unlock your account, sort you out. So yeah, that's what the security options for the password policy is. So quickly recapping, it was just been a case of securing the logins with the MFA, which is coming in the next release. The automatic timeout, which again is 180 minutes unless you want it shorter, and defining your password policy. So pretty simple stuff, but quite useful, and not everybody is aware of every option. And the demand for the MFA, for being on the help desk, I've seen people ask for it a lot. It comes up most weeks, give or take. So, Jack, I don't know if you are there. You want to pick this up? This is the takeaway. I mean, we've got the Q&A section.
Thanks, coming up. Yeah, we've had a question about if we can force accessplanit staff to use the multi-factor authentication. At the minute, I don't know the answer to that one. I need to double check. So we'll come back to you on that one, and we'll confirm. I can see you send that one in, but we'll double check on the answer on that one, so I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
if you can force that or not.
It is role-based, and the accessplanit staff have the role of developer.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it can be applied to that. I think it's something we need to double check. I'm not 100% sure on the answer to that one. Yeah. So we'll definitely come back to you on that one. Yeah, one thing that hopefully people that have attended maybe a few of these webinars now is that we're trying a few different things out. One of the things we're launching now is polls. So we're looking at if we've just launched a poll, and if you could just vote on what you think your main takeaway from this session is. So we've put a few options in there, such as was it looking to find out more information about multi-factor authentication? Is it how you wanted to implement MFA into your platform? More information on the policy, the password policy, the timeout function that we have, or if there's something else. If you just take a second just to vote on that, we'd really appreciate it. We're just trying to understand obviously more of what people are getting from these webinars, and that we're presenting the right topics really to everyone. This is obviously a new topic today. We wanted to give a bit more information about MFA, which is coming up soon. As soon as we were able to give you a date for that to be launched, we'll let everyone know. It's a sought after feature. So yeah, I appreciate everyone just taking a second to vote on that. The quick Q&A box is still open. If anyone has any questions, we will try and get to them. Other than that, whilst any questions come in and people vote on that poll, I just want to bring you up to date on some more upcoming events that we've got coming. So we've got quite a few running more regular events now. So the next one is with myself. This one's going to be on the 2nd of May at 10 o'clock in the morning. This is a free webinar. It's all going to be about around resources, how you use them, the calendar integration, exchange integration, all the different functionality that there is. So that's a free one. You can sign up on the link in on the sides there. The next thing we've got coming up on the 9th of May is the May 2024 product update. So this is going to be with Lauren, who's one of the CSMs, and Elu, who's our product manager. They're going to be taking you through the major features of the latest release, which is due out at the end of April. So this is going to contain features such as consolidate emails, multi-factor authentication, sending emails from alternative sender email addresses, and also an update to price schemes. So that's what's going to be covered in that feature. That's on the 9th of May, and also free to attend. And then the final one that we've got coming up is about creating certificates and sign-in sheets. So again, another free webinar. This will be on Tuesday on the 14th of May at 2 o'clock. This one is going to be with Sarah from our support team, and Lauren will be joining too. We'll be taking you through tips to create great certificates and sign-in sheets using the document template feature within the platform, and hopefully give you guys a few more ideas on what you can do there. We've had a question about a different type of authenticator using FIDO2 or Microsoft or Google Authenticator. At the minute, I don't have any other plans except for what we've just integrated with the email functionality. That's not to say it won't be included in the future, but initially it's just going to be via email in the first instance.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something that we're going to revise over time, because I think we're all familiar with having an authenticator app and just adding extra apps to it as you go along. But like Jack says, currently it is just the email route for now. And again, keep your eye on release notes and future webinars, things like that. But yeah, I'm sure it will evolve over the time. Absolutely.
Perfect. So yeah, that's the end of the webinar for today. Hopefully you've taken something from it. So a lot of people saying about the implementation of MFA. As I say, we know it's a sought after feature. So that's coming out soon. As soon as it's available, we'll let you know. The Q&A is still open, but if you do have any other questions, you can just drop us an email on customersuccess@accessplanit.com, or you can raise a support ticket if you need any more questions.
Absolutely.
And we'll be able to pick them up. But yeah, hopefully, if not, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Well, next week or the week after for the next for the resource webinar. And yeah, if not, we'll see you soon. Thanks all for joining.
Excellent. All right. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Bye.